Most teams today use way too many tools. You've got documents in one place, tasks in another, and you have meetings everywhere. And of course, things still fall through the cracks. So what does a modern team workflow actually look like with AI built in? In this video, I'll show you how a team runs a project from start to finish using Atlassian's Teamwork Collection, which includes Jira, Confluence, Loom, and AI. And the real magic isn't just the tools, it's how they all work together in one connected platform, so that way you spend less time switching between all the different apps. Before we jump in, this video is sponsored by Atlassian. To make this more concrete, let's walk through an example. My team at the Kevin Cookie Company is launching a new mobile app where customers can browse products, place orders, and track deliveries. I'll show you how our team runs the entire project from start to finish with Teamwork Collection. Let's quickly look at how everything fits together. You have Jira, where teams plan and track their work. Confluence, where documentation and plans live. Loom, which teams use for quick video updates instead of meetings. And then AI, which connects everything together and understands your work. So it can help generate content, surface the right information, and speed things up. And again, the real value here isn't just each individual tool, it's how they all connect. Let's walk through this step by step. To get started, head to the link at the bottom of the screen. You can get started for free with a small team. I'll click here. Once you sign up or sign in, you'll land here in Atlassian Home, which pulls together everything across Jira, Confluence, and Loom all in one place. To get started, let's set a goal for this project. Over on the left-hand side, I'll start by clicking on Goals. In this case, the goal is to increase mobile orders by 30% with the new app. Now, I know that's a pretty lofty goal, but we have a very talented team. Right up on top, let's click on Create Your First Goal. Right here, I can give it a name, increase mobile orders by 30%, and down below, I can choose a target date. We'll go with we'll go for end of May. Now, right down below, I could also choose an owner, and I'll set it to me. That way the team knows who's responsible for driving this forward. And then down below, let's click on Create. Look at that. Instead of this goal living in a slide deck or a document somewhere, which tends to happen, it lives right here in Atlassian's Teamwork Collection. Let's click into this. Let's copy a link to this goal. In the top right-hand corner, I'll click here, and I've now copied it. In a moment, we'll see how this goal connects directly to the work the team is doing. That way, everything will tie back to this, and anyone on the team can quickly see what we're working on and whether we're making progress. Now that the goal is all set, the next step is making sure the team understands what we're building and why. And this is where Confluence comes in. To do that, let's go back to Home. In the top left-hand corner, I'll click on this icon, and let's navigate to Home. On the left-hand side navigation, let's click into Confluence. I need to create a new page to share the project plan with the team. Right up on top, let's click on this Create icon, and here you'll see the option to create with Rovo. Instead of starting from a blank page, I can use AI or Rovo to generate a first draft of the plan. Let's click on this. Right down below, we can tell Rovo what we need help with. I would like to create a project plan for a mobile app that allows customers to browse products, place orders, and track deliveries. As part of it, I'd like to include goals, key features, and a timeline. And as good measure, here I'll paste in a link to the goal. That way it has full context. Over here in the bottom right-hand corner, we can now submit that. Now, Rovo will pull together a first draft based on this. This uses context from across your workspace, so it could generate something that's actually relevant to your team and how you work. And just like that, we have a solid starting point. And this is where AI really starts to shine. Over on the left-hand side, Rovo has generated a nice draft and an outline of the project plan. Here we have a link to the goal. We also have success metrics, scope overview, some of the key features highlighted, and even a timeline. Now, of course, it's not perfect, and I'll need to go in and update some of this text and some of these numbers. But again, instead of starting from scratch, I now have something I can review, edit, and build on. That's a lot easier than having to start from scratch. Once everything looks good, let's add it to Confluence. In the top right-hand corner, let's click on Add to Confluence. All of these defaults look good, and down below, let's click on Add. Now, the next step is to share this project plan with the team so we could run through all of the different details. But instead of scheduling a meeting, let's try recording a quick Loom video. In the top left-hand corner, let's click on the switcher icon, and right over here, let's navigate to Loom. Here, you can record directly from your browser, or down below, you could also get the desktop app if you want a little bit more control. I'll do it in my browser, so right up on top, I'll click on this icon. Over on the right-hand side, I can choose what I want to share. I could also select my camera, and here I can configure my microphone. And down below, I can now kick off the recording. Let's do that. Hi everyone, today we'll walk through our new goal of increasing mobile orders by 30% by building a new mobile app. Once you're all done walking through your content, over on the left-hand side, you could stop your recording. From here, I can edit the video, we could even view comments, and down below, I see a summary of the video. In fact, you even get a full transcript if you'd like to look at that. Now, I think this all looks good. So in the top right-hand corner, let's copy a link, and then let's navigate back to Confluence where we'll paste it in. Back here within Confluence, I'll paste the link directly into the document. And look at that, it embeds it directly into the project plan. This lets me walk through the plan in my own words and highlight what's most important. Now, anyone on the team can come in here, watch the video, and get up to speed without needing to join a meeting. That'll help everyone save time. To record the video, I used Loom directly, but you can also do this right from the page. Down below, let's enter in a /, and then you could search for Loom. And here you have the option to record a Loom video directly onto the canvas. Now that the team understands the plan, the next step is to figure out what actually needs to get built. And like we did earlier, instead of starting from scratch, we can use AI again to help brainstorm ideas. Let's click on Create and then Create with Rovo. Let's create a brainstorm whiteboard using Rovo. Down below, I'll type in my prompt, brainstorm features and tasks on a whiteboard for a mobile app. And I'd also like to reference the project plan that we've been working on. To do that, down below, I'll click on this plus icon, and here I have the option to add a link. And when I click on that, I could reference different Confluence pages. Here, you could reference Loom or even Jira. Let's go back to Confluence, and there I see my project plan. So I'll select that. And then let's send that through. Over on the left-hand side, we now have a starting point with different ideas that the team can build on. Let's go ahead and add this to Confluence. Up on top, I'll click here, and then let's click on Add. Once we're happy with all of these ideas, the next step is to turn them into actual work that we can track. In the top left-hand corner, let's click on the switcher, and to do that, we're going to use Jira. Let's jump in. Within Jira, let's start by creating a new space right up here. I'll click on that, and let's go with Kanban to keep things simple. In the bottom right, let's click on Use Template. In the top left, let's give this a name. I'll call it New Mobile App, and then I'll go through and fill out the other items. Now that I filled them out, let's click on Next. Up on top, I can select some of my teammates. That looks good. Click on Next again. And lastly, I can connect Jira to my Confluence space. So I'll enter that in, and down below, let's click on Done. Lastly, let's now go to the space. This drops me into a new Kanban board, and currently I don't have any tasks here. I'd like to get the different tasks from that whiteboarding session into this Kanban board. Now, luckily, I don't have to recreate things. I could simply link them directly to that whiteboard in Confluence. To do that, let's jump back into Confluence. Back within Confluence, I'll select these 4 different tasks, and once I select them, I get this overlay. And over on the right-hand side, I have the option for Jira integrations. I'll select that, and right down below, I have the option to create 4 Jira work items. Let's click on that. Right here, I can assign a space. I'll set it to the new mobile app or the space that we just created. Over here, I could choose the work type. These are tasks. Here, I see a summary of the different tasks, and then I could also assign it to an owner. Let me assign it to myself. I'll select Kevin Stratvert. Down below, let's click on Create. Now, each of these is a trackable work item that the team can start building. You'll notice that the sticky notes change into cards, which shows that they're now linked in Jira. Now, I could also draw connections between these different tasks on the whiteboard to show dependencies or related work. Right over here, I'll connect these two. Now, that relationship will carry over into Jira as well. Let's now go back into Jira to see all of those tasks show up there on the Kanban board. Back here in Jira, we can see all of those tasks from the whiteboard flow through. And the nice thing is everything stays in sync. If I go into one of these tasks and I update it, that same change will show up in Confluence too. So you don't have to update things in multiple places. Everything stays connected. So what started as an idea on a whiteboard is now structured work that the team can start working on. Now that the work is in Jira, this is where the team will spend much of their time. Let's open up one of these tasks. This opens up the task, and here we can start adding more details. I could enter in a description. Here we could add subtasks, and over on the right-hand side, we have additional details. Let's see if we could use AI to speed up writing the description. Over here, I'll click on the Rovo icon, and let's write a prompt to see if it could help with the task description, and then let's send that. Instead of starting from scratch, AI helps fill in the details. Of course, I can always go through and modify this text. If something needs more context, I could record a Loom directly in the task, just like we saw in Confluence. Here too, I type in a /, I could search for Loom, and there I have the option to record a Loom video. From here, I can assign the work, update the status, and plan the sprint. For now, though, let's go back to the main board view. Up on top, I'll close out of this. And would you look at that? The team's been making some fantastic progress. It looks like 2 of the tasks are already marked as done. Now, I should probably pull together some release notes that give a quick summary of what we've accomplished. Let's look at how to quickly generate those. Instead of manually writing them, I can use AI directly from here. In the bottom right-hand corner, let's click on the Rovo icon, and here I could type in my prompt. Can you write release notes based on the work completed in this project? And up above, we can see the context is this board right here. Let's submit that. And now it generates a summary of what was shipped, including all of the key updates. Now I have a clean set of release notes that I can review, edit, and also share with the team. Now, to close the loop, let's go back to the goal that we created at the start. I'll click on the switcher, and down here, let's go back to goals. Over here, let's click into the goal. Over here, I can provide an update on the goal. Let's say that we're making great progress, and over here for the current status, I'll say that we're on track. And right down below, let's post that. Up on top, we can also link the Jira work items directly to this goal. Over here, let's click on Add Jira Work Item. And here, I'll paste in the URL of one of the work items and then add it. So now, this isn't just a number. It's connected to the actual work the team is doing. And anyone on the team can come in here and see what's in progress and how it connects back to the goal. So that's how modern teams run a project from start to finish using Teamwork Collection. We set a goal, created a plan, turned ideas into work, and tracked everything through completion. AI helped fill in the details and connect everything together and surface the right information at the right time while everything stayed connected across Jira, Confluence, and Loom. If you want to try this out yourself, use the link right down below in the description. You can get started for free with a small team. I'll see you in the next video.